Is the VVIP chopper deal going to be the next Bofors? That's what Arun Jaitley says as controversy over the 3,600 crore contract deepens. Now with a new claim that Sonia Gandhi's close aides were being targeted for swinging the deal. Nitin Gokhale has more.
The Augusta-Westland helicopter deal, back in focus, exactly a year after allegations of bribery surfaced. After a new claim in an Italian court says the chopper company in UK was asked to target those close to Sonia Gandhi, like Manmohan Singh, Pranab Mukherjee and Veerappa Moily, and also a key Defence Ministry official, Vinay Kumar, in charge of procurement for the Air Force in those years. The three choppers, already delivered, are gathering dust, part of the 3,600 crore contract that was terminated in January. India has already spent over 1,000 crores, of which it has got back only 250 crores, and it cannot get more, at least for the moment. Meanwhile, India's VVIP chopper fleet is now down to just 5, and those two are 30-year-old Mi-8s, considered obsolete. India needs 12, and the Air Force has now suggested buying half a dozen Mi-17 V5 aircraft from Russia. BJP has already called it a scam the size of Bofors.
बोफोर्स का खुलासा कहां से हुआ था? स्वीडन से हुआ था, हमारे देश में नहीं हुआ था, यहाँ दबाया गया सब कुछ. इसका भी खुलासा वहां से हो रहा है, इटली से.
Arun Jaitley in his blog has said, it appears to be a repeat of what we witnessed in the late 1980s. The British High Commission has reacted to the middleman's note, saying, we have no comment to offer, except that it is normal for the British High Commissioner to support industrial bids. The Congress, meanwhile, has rubbished the latest twist in Choppergate.
They have found not 1 millimeter of evidence regarding Rajiv Gandhi and Bofors. Just because there are elections around the corner in India, the BJP is trying to mislead the public.
But in an election year, any claim that links the Congress top leadership to a defence scam, especially when questions are being raised whether the family mentioned in the documents means the Gandhis and whether AP is meant to be Ahmed Patel, is sure to embarrass the party. With Sandeep Phukan and Nidhi Rajdan, Nitin Gokhale for NDTV.
Well, is the VVIP chopper scam going to be the next Bofors? We just have 5 minutes and time for a quick face-off with Abhishek Singhvi and Dr. Subramanian Swamy. Abhishek Singhvi, really the last thing that the UPA government wanted would have been to see another scam crop up, and that too with an Italy connection. How damaging is the fact that now you have these references to Sonia Gandhi's key aides being targeted? It doesn't look good for the Congress, does it?
And Nidhi, give me at least a couple of minutes of your 5 minutes. You know, we should be a proud democracy which doesn't have knee-jerk reactions like some kind of banana republic. You have the BJP indulging in pure sensationalism because of an election year. The letter, one which has come in the press, which starts with Dear Peter, read it. It has nothing to do with any allegation, not a single allegation, much less bribery or corruption. It is simply saying that the MI8 will not be wanted anymore. And I'm just reading it as it is. I'm not accepting any part of it, but I'm reading it as it is against the interpretation which we are giving. It says that these are the people to be targeted, which simply means they are obviously people who are important in India, and they are the VIPs who may fly, and they don't want MI8 anymore. Now, this is misread and distorted to mean a bribery allegation. It is ridiculous. That's on the literal, narrow issue. On the larger issue, this word Bofors is nice to use, Nidhi. But please consider, 28 years have passed, not a millimeter of evidence against Rajiv Gandhi. The 10 or 11 of those years are non-Congress, not any single conviction. They tried to make things and they lost. 2004, during BJP NDA government, full contest, Mr. Jaitley was fully in charge. Additional Solicitor General from the BJP government strongly argued, lost a case, became final in Delhi High Court, no further challenge, no upturning, travelled many times to Supreme Court. So what are we having? Almost 7 elections have been fought on Bofors. Same thing is raised. So many elections after that, Assembly and Central, we have won. In fact, elections where the main plank was Bofors. What you're essentially
saying is, and Subramanian Swamy, what he's saying is that the mere mention of the key aides being targeted doesn't necessarily imply criminality or illegality. It's lobbying, and that happens.
Sure. Well, this is the initial stages of the court case that is proceeding in Italy. It has now been established in the court that there was a 51 million euro bribe paid. That's on record. It's the government of India has cancelled the deal because saying that this was unwarranted behavior and therefore there's a violation of the agreement.
So that there is wrongdoing is clear.
Yes. And second, you see, what this letter which he doesn't read, which I have got here, actually says, of course it says Mrs. Gandhi and her closest advisors. Your anchor said Mrs. Gandhi's closest advisors. No, Mrs. Gandhi and her closest advisor are people in the High Commissioner should target. The High Commissioner has said that we do intercede. But the first line is that she is the driving force behind the helicopter deal, which is the code word for it is VVIP. So that's one aspect of it, and the second aspect of it is that the name of a man called AP, and I'm trying to get the access to the document which actually names him, comes in the court proceedings when Mr. Guido Haske,
the middleman,
yes, and his name comes very clearly. And AP is.
But he's not definitive about it either. He says, it could be.
Yes, of course. Therefore, we are watching this. Now, the CBI is present in these proceedings in the Italian court. So, all we are saying is that this is clearly something that the government of India has now to explain. How did this 51 million euro, how did it get distributed? That distribution is also
no
given.
Smoke without fire is basically
Absolutely.
the argument you're making. I'm out of time on this today, but this is an issue we're going to revisit once Parliament starts, because Dr. Singhvi, I have a feeling that this issue is not going to go away. I'll give you 30 seconds to respond. 30 seconds is all I have.
No, I'm saying what I heard from Mr. Swami, although I basically disagree with him, was at least a more balanced reaction saying the government of India should get to the bottom of it. I agree entirely. That's why we've cancelled. And the government of India will get to the bottom of it. But that's a far cry from the innuendo, insinuation and the manner of phrasing of Mr. Jaitley and Mr. Yashwant Sinha's statements. Read that. They are insinuating things about individuals, whereas the letter, do you think you're going to write a note to a High Commissioner to pay a bribe? It's a note written to say that, look, these are the people who fly in these helicopters and they will not accept the old Mi-8. So that is a very different thing. Of course, that's
why should an SPG man be in the list? I want to know.
Mr. Vinay Singh. You have to get to the bottom of. And those are questions you have to get to the bottom of.
That's why the deal is cancelled. But that's very different from saying that Mrs. Gandhi and Mr. AP and all these are involved. That's something totally irresponsible.
I have to leave it at that tonight, but I'm happy to say this is one of those remarkable programs where we can bring the two of you together, and Dr. Singhvi can praise Dr. Swami for being balanced and good on this issue. Thank you very much to both of you for joining us tonight. We'll see you all again tomorrow at the same time. Goodbye.